Hello everybody. So this is going to be our official video on how to connect to the MD-BT01 using pretty much any piano. And actually we have two choices now as far as MIDI receivers are concerned, but let me show you the interface first. And sorry about the sunlight in the background here, but I've got a beautiful Disclavier Inspire that I'm working on right here. And of course got PianoStream open, and you want to go not to analog, but to digital, okay? And this will pertain to any piano that has MIDI in and MIDI out. And I will show you that in just a second underneath the piano. But before I show you that, let's go to Amazon, okay? And let's just type in, oh great, now it's asking for my account. Just type in MD-BT01 up at the top. These choices will come up, okay? That's the MD-BT01 right there, and I recommend that one because it's easiest to use and it works quite well, but I also really like the Witty Master. The difference is that it seems like with this one it's easier to connect to it using multiple devices, whereas with this one it kind of latches on to one device. But I do think this one plays a little bit better than that one, although they are both nice. Once again, this one is made by Yamaha and this one is the Witty Master. Do not get that one, it doesn't work right, and don't get that one because the battery will die. If you have a, a Disclavier Inspire, then, or a Mark III, actually not a Mark III, I'm sorry, a Disclavier Inspire or a DKC 850 or even an E3, you can use this USB MIDI, either one of these. And either one of these work great as far as MIDI receivers are concerned. Yeah, see, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pull the camera away. I was just making sure. I don't want to be giving you false information. So this one, yeah, you know what though? You know what, don't get that one. I think that one's misleading. It says USB/MIDI adapter. No, I can't see them misleading on purpose. But I've never used that thing for MIDI. I have used it as a Wi-Fi receiver. That one for sure, I know will work. That one right there will work for sure. It's a great little USB MIDI receiver, okay? That thing, I couldn't get it to work. So anyway, but the best choices are MD-BT01 because it's the easiest to work with, but then once again, that thing's beautiful too. So choose between those two, maybe even get both and return the one that you don't, well, I mean, just keep the one that you prefer. Also, the Witty Master is prime, as you can see. So, okay, but I have this MD-BT01 plugged in under the piano, okay? And so let's go under the piano and show you what that looks like. And as always, I have a light, but that's okay. All right, so, and to be honest with you, I just got through upgrading this piano. It was a DKC, it was a Mark IV, and now it's Inspire. But here is the MD-BT01, okay? And it doesn't matter, pretty much every piano has MIDI in and MIDI out. So let's just unplug this so you can see those circular jacks. And so look for those on your piano disc. Look for those on Piano Disc Prodigy has a CPU that has the MIDI in and the out right there. Piano Disc IQ also has that, but sometimes you'll have to buy a little power adapter because the out jack actually provides power to this dongle. But if it doesn't turn on when you plug it in, then you'll know that it doesn't have power. And then let me know, because I'm the only person on the planet that I know of that makes a power supply for this little dongle, okay? But on the Inspire, it works perfectly. On a PDS 128 Plus, it works perfectly without an external adapter. With the PDS 228, you need a little power adapter from me to power this thing. I'm trying to think what else. It's been a long day. So DKC 850, it powers it. E3, it powers it. Mark IV, it powers it. But you might want to use the USB MIDI on the Mark IV because there's not very much room under here. And with the Mark IV, you have to buy a right angle adapter because there's just not room in there. So, okay, but whatever your piano is, once again, look for MIDI in and MIDI out. Grab your MIDI device, the dongle, and look on the side of it And see that arrow? Let me see if I can focus in on it. See how it points in? That shows us that the signal flies out of this device. So that means that you plug this part into the MIDI in, and then the other end into the MIDI out, because you need to send data into your piano. So that arrow is saying, put me into the input of your piano. So let's just go up here. You can see the MIDI input is right there. So I'm gonna plug this into that. Okay, done. And then just plug the other one into the out. Pretty easy. Oops, as I say, it's pretty easy and I can't do it. Okay, and you saw how it lit up. See how it's red? Okay, so this thing is now plugged in, and once again, that's the story with almost every piano out there. You just gotta find that MIDI in and out. On a QRS, it's the same thing, but with the QRS, you have to switch the input of the piano to MIDI. Okay, so now we got that thing connected. Let's do something else. What we wanna do now, sorry, I'm just getting out from under the piano again. Now what we wanna do is hop on the App Store, okay? And we actually wanna download an app that's called well, just go to the App Store. Let me just show you this. Just type in App Store. Okay, and I'm gonna go to the App Store. Okay, there's the App Store. And this time I want to search for, I'm gonna type in MD-BT01. MD-BT. And sorry if my hands are dirty. I've been working on this thing for the last 5 hours. Okay, maybe not that long, maybe 3. But anyway, you want to download this app, okay? So let's go ahead and download it. And then once this opens up, we're going to connect to the MD-BT01 so that we can update the firmware and rename it, okay? So it downloaded, so let's go ahead and open it up. And just say yes, and hit allow. Okay, you can see that the MD-BT01 just came up. And we want to touch it and make sure that we have the latest firmware. So touch the firmware. Notice we have a new version. So let's do that. Actually, you didn't need to touch it. Touch update right here, okay? So let's wait for that to update. And then once it updates, we're going to rename it. And we're just gonna name it Piano, because that's easy, okay? So hold on just 2 seconds. And if you're using that other device that I talked about that's called the WIDI, it usually doesn't have to be updated. I've never had to update it. But with the MD-BT01, I always have to update it. So let's hit OK. And now we have the latest firmware on this device. And so now I'm going to touch this, and I'm going to touch rename, and I'm going to touch right there. And I'm going to, I don't know what that's doing. Continue. Okay, I'm gonna backspace, and I'm just gonna call it Piano, just like that, okay? And then I'm gonna hit rename. Then I'm just gonna wait a second, and then that'll change to Piano. Okay, give it 2 seconds. Okay, there we go, that is done. Okay, so now we're done with that. So I'm just gonna double tap the bottom button on the iPad, and I'm actually gonna close everything, okay? Just gonna close everything. Okay, so now I'm going to open up PianoStream, which is right there. And once again, we actually want to use the MIDI interface. So this is analog. You actually want to switch to digital, which basically means solo piano, okay? And then you touch the little Bluetooth thing right there. And notice that we have piano right there. So touch that. Okay, it just connected, and take your time with this since this is the first time that you're connecting, okay? Now let's touch it again and disconnect, and now let's touch it one more time to connect. And once it connects, let's just wait about 30 seconds because there's some communication going on right now. The app is communicating with that device and connecting and just securing things, okay? So just wait just a second, and this will be a lot faster when you connect to it the next time. But okay, that's about enough time. Now we're just gonna hit the done button right here. And notice how it says Piano Bluetooth. See how it's connected right there? Piano Bluetooth. okay, and then hit okay. All right, so we are connected. Now touch these little notes, bottom right-hand corner, okay? And these are all of the stations. If you haven't subscribed, then you can listen to the free demo station. But since I have subscribed, let's just go through these and I'll just choose something that you'd like to hear. You know what? I went to Little Mermaid with my daughters last night. We went to Little Mermaid with my daughters. What am I talking about? It's been a long day, our daughters, and it was really good. So let's load the Walt Disney station, okay? And let's do Little Mermaid. Dun, 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 dun. Right there, okay? Here's your volume control, push play. And, okay, and let me pause it because I heard double piano, which means that I have the local sound turned on. So touch the gear cog and turn off the local sound. And now hit done. And now let's start the song over and let's push play. And then just wait just a second and this song will start. And here we go, hold on. Let me turn that up a little bit more. And it's sounding really good. Under the Sea. Oh yeah. Okay, that sounded wonderful. Now, if you want to, you can touch the gear cog right here, and you can actually transpose it however you want, okay? You can also turn up the tempo, okay? And then you can hit done, and the next time that song plays, it'll play that speed and in the key that you want it to play in. And to reset that, touch the gear cog and just hit reset. Now it takes it back to the default, okay? You can also fast forward through a song and you're like, ooh, you know what? I like this part of the song, and you can save it. And now let's say we start that song over, and let's say you want to go to that cool part of the song, just touch go. And then that cool part of the song will play. So that's kind of nice. Now let's say you like this song and you want to add it to your favorites. Just touch the little heart. And then you have 3 stations to choose from, although with the next update, you'll have 10. So let's just stick it in the first station, okay? And now let's fast forward a few times, and let's say we like this song, which we do. And let's say I want to add that, touch the heart, and let's stick it in that same station, okay? Now, to go to your favorites, just touch the little playlist right there. And there are your favorites. And remember, we chose favorite station number 1. So if you want to touch the notes next to it, you'll see the songs. I've added other songs to it, but I just added Under the Sea and we don't talk about it. But let's hit back and let's load it. And we're going to load some of these songs that I like, okay? And quite a few songs. There you go. Okay, that's how that works. Now, okay, so that's probably enough for now. Of course, you can shuffle, so these songs will just play in random order. Or if you really like this particular song, you can replay it. Just have it loop, 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 which is kind of nice. And so that's pretty much it right there in a nutshell. You can also